Getting ready for the onset of winter. We got the feeder under cover here for the horses and the 12 big square bales all tarped in to keep the snow and everything else off that might blow in. I extended the roof out here to cover the area where the horses stand to eat. Just keeps it a little better for them. And we moved a horse shelter in here to break the wind from the northwest. Just makes life a little more pleasant for them, and once the sun comes round it's pretty nice in here. Not a bad place for an old horse to be. I fired up this 730 the other day. I haven't used this grader in I don't know how many years. And put the snow wing on, and I haven't had that wing on there for 15 years. I was counting up last night. That's how many years since I last used a snow wing on a grader. This one still has the carbide tipped blades, the ice blades on there. We used to use them when we graded for the county for breaking up hard packed roads, and of course in the winter they're good for the snow and ice. So I'm hoping this year one pass with the grader and we'll be done. Of course, having put that on, there won't be a flake of snow fall all winter. Brought up these two big pipes to weld together to make a culvert out in the back there, so that the east and west bodies of water can be joined together with a dirt bridge going over the top. So we got the welder set up, just got to get to it. Get everything jacked and stretched into position and get welding. This is not a very thick wall, 1/4, 3/8, something like that, so it won't take long to weld it up, brace it and support it. And get her out into the field, get her in the ground. Going to put some pit run underneath it to support the pipe, and there are pilings already pushed in for either side to stop the pipe from going oval when the weight goes on. So it should work out. This was this morning's project. This is a Troy built rototiller, which in my opinion is one of the best rototillers ever made. This one's just got a 5-horse Briggs and Stratton motor on it. I do have an 8-horse, quite a bit bigger machine, which my eldest son Sam has been using for a couple of years, I think. And it's got some carburetor trouble, so we picked this one up probably a year ago at a sale. I think, we can't remember, we think about 200 bucks. And it really is in very good shape. So we've changed the oil this morning, air filter, checked the transmission oils and everything, and she's good to go. I just got to get in here now and get a little of this garbage from somebody else's adventures, get that off and make sure the seals are good, but the oil levels are good. And then take this one over to Sam. I got the quad out. We don't use this machine very often. It sits more than it ever gets used, but I had to put a new battery in it. So we did that this morning. And then the little trailer that we use for hauling firewood in. So we've got a soft tire on the other side. This one I put a tube in it last year. The thing sits more than it ever gets used. There's cracks in the tires, but it'll work another year. So I've got to put a tube in the other side. I'm hoping with that grader in service, the skid steer will not be needed this winter too much. I hope. I was over to Sam's the other day and brought home this trailer mower I bought years ago and we never used it. It is a very good little mower actually, and with the offset hitch, the idea is that we can pull it with the quad and the mower will hang out the side and we can get into cut grass alongside the bodies of water here, because it's so wet you can't keep the grass cut. So we're going to get that under cover, load the rotavator up in the trailer here, and away to Sam's place. There's all the ducks taking off. They like to paddle around in here because it's a little more sheltered for the most part. And of course it's hunting season. Here's old Mitzi. So we got this house truck project spotted, some concrete put down, and brought this, used to be a skid being pulled on pipeline right away for carrying pipe skids, pipe blocking. So we got to cut off the steel and reinvent it into a deck that we can move. But that's another project for another day. We're doing a lot of cleanup, and all the garbage you find from decades of people just dumping stuff in the bush. Looks like they demolished a car years ago. So we got this all landscaped and seeded. Hopefully it's going to drain. We think it will. Got a little bit of a brush pile we're building there, so that when the fire bans come off we can have a burn up and get rid of that wet wood. It just takes years to dry out. This is a 27-foot tandem van trailer I bought years ago, again with the intention of making it into mobile living, and that is still very much the intention. What I like about this one is that it is actually the lead trailer of a set of trains, so you can slide the bogies back, and in there is a fifth wheel, so we can pull two trailers. Some people might think that's utterly ridiculous, but hey, whatever works. A year ago I went up to the farm up north and brought down my 67 Mercury. It's a truck I owned, oh my goodness, I can't remember, back in the 90s we bought this. Belonged to a friend of ours who retired from farming, and is still a very good truck despite its age, a bit of rust coming in the fenders. And the windshield always draws admiration. Looks like a bullet hole, but no. Just a honking great rock. As they say, they don't build them like they used to. There's a couple of old buildings here that we're standing on the property. This is an old granary. We're going to tear this down. You can see the old log construction and where the woodpeckers have been hammering away at it, going after the bugs in there, and it really is in pretty rough shape. I would dearly love to have saved it, but it's pretty much toast. So we're salvaging everything we can off it. These old shingles, I've been stripping them off the wall here last night and stacking them up here. So I'm hoping I can clean these up and salvage enough to do some decorative walling in the new cabin. I don't know. We'll see how they clean up. They are very brittle, very fragile. So I'm going to finish stripping that this morning. You can see over the years, these are old oil cans. As the wood rotted away on the building, the old farmers used these old oil cans, cut them along the edge. You can see the shear marks where they cut them and nailed them up. Now those have weathered away, but there is one. Somehow that old Vidal motor oil tin put in there, Lord knows when, decades ago. I would think from the 1950s, perhaps the 60s. But the farm was abandoned in the 60s, so it could well be the 50s. Now I've been using this old wood granary just for rough storage, but the roof has deteriorated so badly. So I've got all those cedar 6-foot fence posts there for rail fences. I got to get those out, some roofing steel, and of course the old pails. You always keep your pails. But you can see the log construction still chinked with cob, mud and straw, clay and straw. And I know the hands that built this building are long, long gone from this world. And it pains me to tear it down. But I guess you have to draw the line somewhere. The leaves have all dropped on the trees around the garden. There's not much left anymore. And Sylv has been busy prepping the beds, cleaning everything up. She left her faithful sunflower standing. We've had a couple of frosts, so the leaves on the mountain ash are starting to wither away. They got nipped. Everything that's not needed went into the composter. And these new beds that we put in last year have done remarkably well, but you can see the difference in the soil, how lumpy and clumpy it is. It has not mellowed out to the same degree that the older beds have, where we've been mixing them with peat moss, and over the years they have mellowed out completely. Look at that, just beautiful loam, beautiful soil. Here's old Sooty. Soot's my love. Sooty. Sooty. Here's old Sooty. Hey, sweetheart. What a good boy. What a good boy. Come on, let's go do some more work. Looks like we'll have some work to do in the spring as well. These old boards were rotten when I put them in there 8 years ago, but they've done remarkably well. Dear old city. Come on then. Come on. It's the tail end of the summer into October now. And as the years pass, it seems like you never make any progress, but of course we do. When we came here, there was just a tumble-down old house and nothing else. We built the wall. We're working on the cabin. It seems like it's always surrounded by scaffolding. And the lilac trees grow higher and higher. But we do make a little progress as the years pass. Seems like we're always living in a construction site. But we created this little area out here by the water. And we like to come here and have our cup of tea. It's not exactly quiet.
You didn't warn me.
No, Mother was not warned that she's going to be filmed. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll sit here, we'll have our cup of tea and enjoy the tail end of summer. And here comes Sooty.
Yeah.
Come on, my love. Come and have tea with Mum and Dad. Oh, yes, Dad. That's what I'm here for, Dad. And we'll watch the ducks and the geese, whoever's left. And enjoy our tea.